I haven't done the dramatic eyeshadow look in a while, but we here now. We here. Hey beauties, welcome back. It's me, Lydia Marie. Guess what, girl? We going outside. We have an occasion to get dressed up, put on a cute face, and go outside. But it is almost 90 degrees every day here in Charlotte. So I'm going to be showing you my long wear, sweat-proof, hot flash friendly, because y'all know I be going through my little hot flashes with this perimenopause type of makeup look. We're going to be working in layers. This look is not all about slathering on a bunch of makeup, a lot of mattifying products and things like that. No, for me, because I have dry skin, I'm going to show you how I build my makeup up to not only make it look good, but to make it last throughout the heat and the elements. So if you want to see how I got this look and hear about the event that I'm going to for creators, I hope that you would keep watching. So when it comes to long wearing makeup, for me, I'm not concentrating on having products that are super mattifying because I have dry skin. So I never want a product that's going to matte me down and just go from there. I am going to use the products that are long wearing and have long wearing properties. So a long wearing foundation. I did put on my Clinique Moisture Surge moisturizer. So I'm going to start with, as a primer, with the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Blurring Balm. And you guys know this has the Upsolite technology in it that is good for absorbing moisture and sweat and things like that, while also giving you like a blurred mattified appearance, but without leaving you dry. I don't know how she did it, but it's science. Okay, so we believe science over here. So I'm just gonna take some of this on a brush, and I'm gonna go with this in the areas where my makeup tends to separate, and that's always right here around my smile lines, right here. And I'm going to go in my T-zone right here, because when I sweat on my forehead first. So I'm going to make sure to put that down in the areas where I need it, and where I need it only. I don't need it all over my face. But right here is where my makeup tends to separate. So that is where I'm going to use this product. I'm going to take some Huda Beauty color correction around my mouth area, over my mustache a little bit. I'm gonna wax before the event, but right now for this tutorial, we're just gonna color correct it. Anyway, and I'm gonna blend whatever's left, blend the color correction with whatever's left of the blurring balm on the back of my hand. But look how smooth that blurring balm makes your skin look, girl, what? And I'm just gonna tap that into place like this. In the summertime, I tan, so I don't be worrying about covering up my hyperpigmentation because my skin matches it anyway. I'm starting to get brown. I mean, look, I be out in the sun, so I don't really always worry about, you know, super color correcting all the time. It is what it is. It's my skin. I'm a human being, so who cares, right? So I'm just going to use this under my eye, and this is just really going to be used to neutralize the dark circles. And right here, that's it. My longest wearing foundation that is still comfortable to wear when it's hot outside is the NARS Light Reflecting Foundation. I have the shade MD 2.6. They only sell this shade on the NARS website now, but if you want to get this from like a Ulta or Sephora, the shade that they have now in the light reflecting is Tahoe. That would be the shade. But this is a very comfortable wearing foundation, and it's long wearing, and it's full, medium to full coverage, so it does a little bit of everything. So I'm using the BK 101 brush. I want to get a code for BK Beauty brushes too. BK Beauty, I'm going to tag y'all if y'all are watching this to see if I can get a discount code to share with my followers. But look how good, y'all know how this NARS foundation look like. It is just sublime. But I'm working in layers because that's another part of making the makeup last, is not slathering it on. These people outside are doing the absolute most with those motor cars. Anyway, it's not slathering it all on at once. It's building up in layers. So a thin layer of foundation and then adding more as I go along. This brush is the perfect brush to kind of get a thin layer because you can put so much on the brush and the bristles are so big that you can tap and then blend it in. Another key to having your makeup last longer, especially when it's hot, is to spray your face in between steps. So I already have on the Danessa Myricks. I have on a little color correction. I have on a thin layer foundation, but still getting the coverage that I need, right? So I'm going to spray my face down with some of the Charlotte Tilbury spray. And we're going to start locking in these layers that we're building, because again, the last thing I personally want, especially again as someone who has hot flashes at the most inopportune time, is to have on a bunch of makeup and a bunch of powder. I haven't locked it in between steps and my face is just literally melting. Longevity is the key. Not a lot of product, but longevity. And even if you do have on like a matte foundation because you have an oily girl, spraying your face down in between each layer is going to help lock every step of the makeup in place. It ain't gonna move. So now we're going to move on to concealer. I'm going to be using my House Labs. This is the shade Peach 30. Though this does have a lot of skincare benefits, this concealer is quite long wearing. Like, it really does a great job with just staying where it's supposed to stay once I have it on. And this is the brighter shade. I'm just taking what's on the brush and kind of doing that. And then I'm going to flick a little bit here. I need a little bit right here. And I wear glasses too, so I need my concealer to stay where I need it to stay. I don't want my glasses rubbing off and getting my concealer, you know, all over the place and things like that. I do have a video on this channel about makeup tips for glasses wearers. You can search that. Because I did that, I want to say like last year. I'm just using what's left on the wand. For those of us who wear their glasses, gave us a little tips on how to keep our makeup in place. I'm gonna let this dry down first before I spray. I'll spray it and then blend it out. So I will be reporting back, and like I said, by the time this video posts, I would have already been at the event. So I will be sharing snippets. I'm going to definitely vlog it because I've seen obviously in there you can make content and things like that. So I will be vlogging and, you know, doing what I do. It's exciting. I don't know. I like YouTube and my blog. Those are my two favorite places to be found. I'm using the Laura Mercier translucent powder in the shade Honey, and I'm going to lock that concealer all the way in. I let it dry down a bit. If you put your powder on when your concealer is still wet and you haven't let it dry down, that's going to change the color of your concealer and it's going to pull the concealer away. So you want to let it dry down a bit before you go right in with powder. Take your time and let it get a little bit tacky, especially if you're using something like this, because it's just going to pick up the concealer and it'll look like you didn't apply anything. So everywhere I put that concealer, go over it with a tad of powder, and I'm only using what's on the tip. My under eyes don't like or need a ton of powder. I just want that concealer to stay put. So we're going to do some eyeshadow today. I'm going to do like a little halo eye situation. I'm using the Jackie Aina palette, and I'm using this shade called Pinker right here. And a halo eye is basically a dark color on your outer corner and your inner corner, and then a bright pop of color or sparkle in the middle. And yeah, I saw one of my favorite makeup artists I follow on Instagram recently do a halo eye, and I was like, yes, bring back eyeshadow, girls. Absolutely. I haven't done this in so long, but I enjoy it. So we're just going to pop this color right here. It's a little darker pink, almost like a mauve. And again, because I wear glasses, I want my eyeshadow to be like, hey girl, like that. So we're going to pop it in the middle corner as well. In the middle corner. In the inner corner is what I meant to say. It's fine. It's late. We're just practicing. Pop that right here. And don't worry about it not looking neat when you do this look, because you're going to be blending the heck out of this anyway. And let's pop it right here. And leave that. Then we're going to grab a brown shade. And I think I'm going to go in with the shade Ginger. This is the shade in this palette that I use as a transition color. We're just going to blend around the edges of both of those with a fluffy brush. Just make it nice and neat. And this eye look is made to be dramatic, so, and I love that. And just blend those two together. And as you can see, my lid space right here is clear. And that's for the pop of color. Years later, and this palette is still unbelievably pigmented. So I have the shades placed on the outer corner and blended out. And I'm going to put something in the middle. And I think I'm going to use this shade called Sponsored. Something cute like that. And I'm going to put that right in the middle of my eye. Right here, there, this big empty space right there. Like that. Woo, I like that. I like a halo eye. And just keep it in the middle. I'm not blending it out with my brush just yet. I just want to tap it in. Like that. And then we're gonna eyeshadow. I'm gonna take a smaller brush and go around the edge. Ooh, not that. That brush is not small at all. That would have been a disaster. Huh. Let's get a teeny tiny, there we go. A small brush like this. And then I'm gonna go around the edges of my eye with Credit and Ginger, the two brown matte shades. Mostly Ginger though, that softer brown. And we're just gonna go right underneath the eye on the lash line. Like that. And we're going to use that as the eyeliner. I still love this palette. I know it's old, but I'm not going to stop using it, okay? So we might as well just accept it. Going over my face with, as my blush with another long-lasting product from Danessa Myricks. This is the Yummy Skin Blush. This is the shade Jubilee. I'm pretty sure this is my favorite shade. It's the one I reach for the most. And you know, with Danessa, you don't need a lot, girl. You don't need a lot. But you notice I'm doing my blush before my powder for a reason, because we're gonna lock this blush right on in there with the powder. So I'm just kind of blending that in. Y'all know how I like it up to my temples. It's such a pretty brown shade that it's not gonna take away from the eye look. Yeah, that'll work. Another layer of spray. Melt it all in. Then for my powder, once the spray dries down, I'm going to go in with the MAC Studio Fix powder. And I'm going to use an actual powder brush to go all over my face with. I really want to lock in that NARS foundation. This powder is mattifying, but not drying, but it's also very long wearing. So, oh, I almost forgot my bronzer, girl, and it's sitting right in front of me. The Bobbi Brown bronzer. Duh, I can't forget my bronzer. But I'm going to go very light, just around my forehead with this powder bronzer. This is what it looks like. And this is in the shade Natural. We like a good bronzer, child. I can't be outside at an outside event with no bronzers. You crazy? That's not even me. We'll just do a little bit of that. Now I'm going to take a powder brush. I have the shade NC45. And just like so. And really go over those areas that like to sweat and break apart first. So right here. And yes, we have the Danessa Myricks Blurring Balm underneath, but we're going to need some extra protection. 86 degrees. Humid. We're not going to be having no sweaty face McGee outside. Me having a hot flash in the middle of the function. And even if I do, you're not going to be able to tell, okay? Because it's locked and loaded. Period in the story. All right, I'm gonna do my mascara off camera. We're gonna pick out a lip and then we're gonna be good to go. One thing I will mention in regards to mascara, should you choose to wear it, or a lash, make sure it's waterproof. If you're outside and you're at an event, a wedding, or whatever it is, now's the time to pull out your waterproof mascara, especially if you have the hot flashies. You do not want raccoon eyes, so using a good waterproof mascara, that's going to be the major key in keeping that eye makeup in place. Okay? Okay, beauties. Now, when it comes to your lips, I like to do things that are long wearing as well, but still comfortable. I'm really enjoying lipstick right now. Like I said, I've been back in my lipstick era, but I don't want to reapply my lip liner, you know, every time I have to take a drink or something. So I'm going with a long-lasting lip liner. These are the Maybelline lip liners. I talk about them all the time. This one's in the shade Player. And these, once they're on, which is what I really like. They don't bleed. They don't make your lipstick look all crazy. They're like a little lip tattoo. Is that. Then I'm going to go in with the Maybelline Ultra Matte Slim lipstick. They still sell these, thank God. And this is in the shade More Taupe. Just put that in the middle. Lightly. I don't want to take away from the eyes because the eyes are eating. And I'm going to go over it with a little bit of gloss. You know, something cute you can pop in your bag or whatever just to reapply. These Ultra Matte lipsticks are very comfortable matte, but they are matte. They dry down to a nice comfortable wear. They really don't budge. They don't like go all over the place. So I'm going to go over it with a little bit of Fussy from Fenty to bring back some of that pink I like. I still love how those smell. And that's my lip, so I can pop that in my bag and keep it pushing, but this should last me pretty well throughout the night. And last but not least, we're gonna lock everything together with a makeup extending spray. I'm gonna use this one from Fenty, but you guys also know that I use the L'Oreal Infallible 3-second setting spray. I also use like my Morphe setting spray. These are the things that I'll use when it's all said and done, when everything is put on. I want my makeup to stay in place. This is really good. I've used this when I've been out working and sweating and stuff, and my makeup, very little to no transfer. I kid you not, it is just that good. So I would use something like this as a last minute to spray everything down, and I'm a generous sprayer. I'm gonna spray it, let it air dry, and I'm gonna lock everything in, and we'll be good to go. So beauties, this is the final look. The eyeshadow is low-key eating. I'm sorry, it just is. It's something about that palette. Ugh, it is so good. So this is the look that I would go for longevity. So it's not necessarily luminous, but it still gives a pop of color. It's not mattifying, but it just looks nice and natural. And for somebody like me or you or whomever who gets hot flashes, or if you're perimenopausal, or if it's just hot outside and you want your makeup to last, if you're out in elements, you're going to a wedding, this is the type of routine I would do, working in layers and starting with products that are used to control oil, sweat, or what have you, and locking everything in as we go. So I hope this tutorial was helpful for you. Let me know in the comments below. I will be checking in from the YouTube creators event by the time you see this, so I will of course give you guys all the details when it is all said and done. If you made it this far in the video, go ahead and give your girl a thumbs up. I truly appreciate it. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and consider turning on those notifications so you don't miss a thing. And I will see y'all back here for the next video very soon. Bye.